All right, today I have a box from Lines to Go. They are stainless brake lines. Here is the number, and these are for a 2006 Chevy C5500. When you put in this product, I have the diesel engine. It gives you a ton of options, and right around down here comes the BLC 215s. It should just be the front set only. However, this particular number, the 215 SS, I don't see on here. It's always SS1G, or there's something else going after it. And so we're gonna get on whatever fits. I gave them my VIN number, and they sent me this one. So I believe this hopefully will be correct. While we're doing this truck has 300,000 miles. We are also going to be putting on brake hoses from Napa so that every part, the lines and the hoses are fresh. And at that point, it's just the calipers that are going to be old. Okay, so I just dumped out every contents of this box. Ideally, you do this in a clean table so as not to get any dirt in your lines. Note, the ones with the yellow tape will need to be straightened. Notice how we don't have anything very long, so they definitely only sent me the front, as this is an 18-foot bed, so the ones going to the rear would be fairly long. I like how they got these nice. This will be a nice upgrade for what's on there now anyway. 20 years old, so we got it's all stainless. Also in the box was a pack of unions. So and they kind of color code them, so you know which ones go together on which part of the lines. And there'll be colored markings on the ones that have the same colors so that you can kind of match them up pretty easily. Like, for example, over here, you see that one's got a green marker on it. So you use the green one on that one. But it's really not that difficult. The hardest part is probably getting the old ones off, which I've done in the past, where you just take a clipper, a wire cutter, bolt cutter, and just slice up the old ones right before the head, right above it, so that way you can put a full socket on this and just pull them off. And once these are cut, you know, then you just pull them out real fast. So that's probably the fastest way to do this, to get the old ones off. This truck is a Virginia truck. It does have a little bit of rust, not much near the front. Most of the rust is near the back axle, but having rust-free stuff on any truck that lived up by the salt is always a perk. So first things first, the yellow, between the yellow lines, will need to straighten. And all you do is kind of get them in a straight line on a table, and, you know, step on them flat or roll them flat if you're doing this on a table. But either way, from yellow sticker to yellow sticker is just a shipping bend, and it needs to be rolled back out flat. So like this one, just roll it back out flat, and they're ready to be installed. All right, so we have some good news. It looks like these first couple are going to be pretty easy and pretty accessible, since everything runs into the ABS block right here. So these top two are the ones with the braided hose on them, and they run up to the master. So those should be fairly quick. There's this little one right here that runs from this middle post over to there, and that's the brake hose for this side. So we're going to try to get this side completely done. For the new lines are going to be 9/16. That's what fits these, and fits these perfect. Right, 9/16 for the new ones. For the ones you're taking off, I found that 14mm gave the snuggest fit. So these top ones are out. Got these right here. Make sure you take the top ones out first, so you kind of wipe it as you go down and nothing falls into this bottom one. Looks like I got some dirt still around this one, but it's all near the bottom, so I'm gonna wipe that away. And your new hoses do come with them as well, so they're just clipped onto there. We will have to transfer all these old clips from the old lines to the new ones so they stay in place. The only thing that's kind of ready to be bolted in as is this line right here. All right, we're about buttoning it up for this side. It looks like there originally was some kind of mount right here. You see the hole to hold these two lines together, it looks like, but it wasn't anything I took off. But now I'm just getting all these clips back on, keeping the hoses together, and I gotta put back on all these, I'm putting back on these two clamps to hold them to the frame, and then these are just more wire connectors that, you know, to keep the two in line. It does come kind of close to the power steering pump fitting right there, but there is clearance. I don't recall how close it was when I took everything apart, but in this kit, the gold fitting is the gold fitting down on the inside, and up here it's kind of impossible to screw it up. Pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go. I'm gonna have to rewatch my video, but I think that's how it's supposed to go. Everything lines up nice over there. So back over here, we'll have to get these clamps back on here and put on this stud. Try to clean this off a little bit. Don't really know why that's, I don't know why it's got white on it. It's like some kind of paste. But both of them will fit, you know, right next to each other over here. Clamp these going down here. Throw a clamp over here. And yeah, it looks like this front section, passenger side section, it should be okay. We got this one connected. We got the clip back in to hold it in place. I did break this clamp, so I just put the bolt back in. So I do need to go buy another clamp and then, you know, kind of secure that just so this doesn't go anywhere. But the original one was so rusty that I pulled off, it actually broke. The clamp broke. The bolt didn't break, but the clamp broke, so that was kind of weird. And clean up your brake fluid. I'm sure it'll leak a little bit more when I undo at least one of these. I don't know if I'm going to undo 2 or 1. I assume 2 or 1, just to the other side. And the other 2 are right brake, left brake in the rear. But clean this up so there's no rusting. And then this right here, we're gonna wiggle this up next to our thing and use these clips right here and put them back in so they all kind of stay in a line, and it connects into right there. All right, we got the driver's side pretty much buttoned up here. I did have some leaking issues sitting overnight at all these heads. So really, just a simple hand wrench wasn't really enough to get enough torque on them. And remember, the directions say on these stainless lines, they need to be real tight. So what they do is they say to turn it as tight as you can, back it off, and then go again. And I ended up, we're gonna try this one. I got a 14-inch ratchet maybe on the 9/16 head. And I was able to, I just tried this here and I was able to turn everything a little bit more than I was before the previous night, just with my wrench. So hopefully now that'll end the leaking issues. I didn't see a lot coming out, but you could see the fluid building up in there on all 3 of these. So that's how I knew it still wasn't fully sealed. You shouldn't see any liquid coming up through the middle there if it's fully sealed. That's what it looks like. This side's pretty quick. If you get them out quick, this side shouldn't take you that long. We'll have to go on underneath now and see which one of these lines runs to the right front. I want to say it's one of these 2. I don't think it's this Union one. I think it's one of these 2 that run to the other side, but it comes down the frame, and right about the back of the cab around here-ish, there's a cross member that the line takes a U and then runs up to the right. So it's not straight down and across like on the pickup trucks. Now this other side, same 16mm caliper, 14 to remove these. Pro tip though, get you this is a Carlisle part. I guess it doesn't say it on. I guess it doesn't say a part number. Oh, there it is. But this is just their mini bolt cutter, 8-inch bolt cutter, and it makes quick work of these brake lines. Just one, maybe a second one, and it goes right through it. And this way, you just cut the connection and put a socket right over there to get that out. But also, you can cut this piece up to the sizes you need. Don't forget about the brackets here. I see. Looks like there's another clip right there. We're gonna have to do a little bit of sanding while we're back here, but yeah. So now that this is undone, we're gonna pry it off all these clips. These are all gonna be on unions, making its way around, which will make the install easier. So, yep. All right, so I took off this panel, which was a mistake because due to rust, I snapped off 2 of the studs. Fortunately, 1, 2, and then one under here held. There's one right there that held. So if this is rusty, this goes through this bracket right here, this line, and then it pretty much runs up over the frame to the inside of the frame, which you access from laying on your back, you know, looking up. You don't get it from this side. So here's all the pieces. This kit does appear to come with all 3 in the front, and the one goes all the way across to the other side, which is going to be what most of the unions are for, to make one big piece. The other 2 are just the front half of the line to the back. There's a union to the back too, right about here, and I'm pretty sure those other 2 lines are going to be the perfect length to line up with the union. And so it's truly just a front half from the front bumper to the back of the cab lines in this kit. It doesn't, and because of that factory union right there, you know, they change the lengths based on what package truck you got. So I'm gonna, unfortunately, the way how it's designed, this is actually the one that comes down in the front, closest to the front, is actually the one that runs to the other side. This bottom one, this one on the inside, is the one that hugs the frame the most, and the middle one stays in the middle. So these 3 can come off because they'll all be garbage. As you can see, I've got them all loose already. There's a couple brackets here, but I just cut them just so they come off nice, and I'll just cut them off right here, 1, 2, 3, so that way these will pretty much just fall out, and I can easily get a wrench or a socket on these for the time being. And then what we'll probably have to do is line up the inside one first, the inside one second for the 2 rear, and then we'll put this one on last, and then finish it around to the passenger side. All right, guys, we are wrapping this up. I did a lot. This is definitely installation is definitely gonna be a whole lot faster if you have 4 hands. So 2 guys, 1 to feed from the top, 1 from the bottom to line them up. What I ended up doing is taking these 3 and I fished them all through the bottom, got them in there. Once again, it looks like they're all already leaking a little bit, so we'll let this sit overnight, and probably have to snug them again in the morning. I know it says on the directions, remember to tighten, loosen, and then tighten again. With the nature of these, it's kind of hard to get a good wrench on these back two if you do them at the end. You know, if you have all these out and snug, and install these, snug, you know, go in order, no problem. But if you put them all in loose and then try to tighten them all, it can be difficult. So I think I have this all done, except for bleeding it. So this side's pretty self-explanatory. This side's pretty basic compared to the other side. It's just this one here that comes up and over. And then I did have to take out this inside mat, the second, you know, there's a main fender cover, inner fender right here, but there's a second one right here that bolts, doot, and one underneath. And you will have to take that out to get to in your new setup. There is one, they placed one union right there. So you will have to take it out. Can't reach it from underneath. The problem with that location, it's really hard to get good torque. So what I did is I stuck an adjustable wrench, braced it against the frame, and then took my wrench on this one and tightened it. In hindsight, guys, since you always tighten one against the nut, you know, on one piece before installation, take the the union and tighten it against the piece towards the rear, and save this front one to be tightened from this side angle, because it'd be a little bit easier. But I think I got it. You know, if that's the spot that leaks, that's going to be quite the chore to get something else in there that makes that secure and tight. Got it as good as I can with two hands, and you know, a wrench that size. So what's the size of that? A little bit bigger than your hand. Normal line wrench. So how this looks underneath, get up here by the engine, front axle, they come down right there, and really make a note on where they go, what goes on the inside, what goes to the outside. I think I flipped up two of them on install, but you know, both to the either rear. I guess it might not really matter a whole lot, but do use your color codes, that'll help. So this kit on the factory truck, since all the rear wheelbases are different, they have a bunch of unions right here, and everything's a union. This is right next to the oil pan, so probably about the back, just under the cab maybe. And this is where all the unions are. Two of them, like I said, are reused into the old line, the two that run to the rear. This one is one that runs over and across, and that next union it gets, that's the one that I was just showing you from the side. Really can't get to it down here. You can see it, but you can't get to it. Yeah, so that's the one we were just working on. It'd be near impossible to do from the bottom, so we're really hoping we torqued it well enough. On the top, that one's easy access. Couldn't use this one, the line wasn't quite the right shape. I believe this original line that went across was in one of these. Once again, line wasn't quite the right shape. I'd have to bend it a little bit, but I just left it because it got in this back one, and it's pretty firm as it sits. And then but this one was my one that was way too long, so I don't know if there was a VIN number mixed on my search or what, but it was so long that I basically just bent it down and around just so it fit, and still had to bend this one a little one to get it. This one fit good. The one that went to the passenger side fit fine. But another thing to note, all three of them went up over the engine mount instead of below it like the factory ones did. So the factory setup had one's here, and there's two more over there on the other side, but they all went below this engine mount, and the replacements went above it. Now I was able to reuse the brackets over there and over there, but these ones, instead of going under, probably would have made more sense because there's tons of space, but they went up and over. As long as it doesn't rub the mount, should be okay. But I just wanted to show what it looks like down here. This is not a fun job. In theory, it should be quick. It might be quick if you have two people, just so installation goes a little bit faster. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna end this video. You'll just have to bleed it after this and check for leaks, because with the stainless and the temperatures, you know, you have to, anyone that's leaking, just get it snug, even more so. Loosen it and get it snug again.